Hey guys, I hit a milestone on my Instagram this week. I hit 1,000 followers, 1,000 followers. And that in and of itself isn't a really huge accomplishment, but I kind of wanted to make note of it. A lot of podcasters and people who are successful on Instagram will talk about the days when they had a really small account and their account was like 4,000 or 5,000 followers. And I don't know, for me, a really small account was when I had like less than 50. And I've watched my growth over the last 10 years. I've been on Instagram since 2011, and it took me 10 years to get to 1,000 followers. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. I know that there's a lot of people out there who totally are proud and pumped about the fact that they got 10,000 followers in a year or whatever the crazy number amount is. I mean, I think that's awesome. And I think it's really, really cool for people who can do that and who have whatever platform it is that helps them get to those levels, or the people that help them out, or if it's just them on their own. God bless them. I think it's amazing. But for those of us who are like down in the trenches, just plugging away and plugging away and plugging away and doing our thing and focusing and learning and working on our process and meeting new people and learning new things, and just for every little flip of your, and I know follower count is kind of like a shallow thing, whatever, but it is a goal. It's a goal for a lot of people. When you apply for a job, when you apply to a publisher, when you apply to any kind of thing where you're relying on your talents to get you there, one of the first things that your screeners are going to do is say, how many followers do they have? And a lot of the times they'll say, follower count doesn't matter. We judge you based on your talent and the quality of your work, and that's great. But they do look at follower count. For those of you who are just starting out on Instagram and seeing all these people with these crazy numbers, and you're trying your hardest, you're trying to get yourself out there, a lot of the times a follower count is a vanity metric, but a lot of the times a follower count is almost like a success ratio for how far you've gotten and how you feel you're making an impact on your viewers. So for me, my 1,000 goal is a huge, huge thing, and the fact that it took me 10 years is not embarrassing to me at all. When I first started Instagram, I was not an artist. I didn't start getting serious about art until 2013. So for the first 2 years, I was just documenting my family. I had a couple of horses that I was trying to sell and market, so I was working on promoting the breed and talking about the horses and things like that. And if you guys are horse fans, just take a deep dive down into my feed and you'll see tons of pictures. And I was just documenting like family vacations and stuff around the house and our pets and things like that. And I had an opportunity to go back to school in 2013 to get my degree in my 40s. I was not a kid. I did not finish college the first time around, when most people do. And it wasn't a necessary thing for me in my life, but it was just a personal goal that I had. So I went back to school in 2013, and when I started making art and started working on my projects, I started posting it on Instagram. And for the past 2 days, I've been sharing to my stories early pictures from my feed and where I started out as an artist and what I learned in school and the people who helped me and all the steps along the way. And while I was doing that, while I was sharing all these old posts from my feed to my stories, I just thought, I earned every single one of that 1,000 follower count. I earned them all. I never have wanted to buy followers. You get all those little things that tell you, how to get more followers and how to do this and how to do that. And I've never wanted to do any of that stuff because it seems kind of scammy. And I mean, if you just want to, if you just have a product to sell and you want to get it out there and you just, whatever, it just just wasn't the right thing for me. So, I mean, I just kept working and I kept posting my images and I kept posting pictures of my family and my pets and stuff like that. At a certain point, my dog is whining because she wants to come in here. At a certain point, I divided my Instagram into two different feeds. My home feed where I'm like cooking and talking about my pets, and my art feed. And so my art feed is my main feed, this one here. And I pretty much just post art and my process. I'm an art teacher, so I really like to show how I do things so that other people can learn. I'm really interested in hearing how people interpret what I'm showing them, whether I inspire them to make something on their own when it's not even a lesson, or it's a lesson and they learn something new and they apply it and they're really happy with what they've done. It just makes me so happy. So that's why I show my process. That's why I share every part of my journey to this point. And I always encourage people, if you have questions about art making and about being an artist, going back to school when you're, a middle-aged mom, that kind of stuff, come at me. I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. I've never understood people who keep all that stuff secret. Like if they don't share a recipe or something, I've never understood that. Why wouldn't you want to share that information? But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. I just really wanted to show my journey. And I kind of wanted to do this video so that you would go, because I'm sure there's some people going out there going, it took her 10 years to get to 1,000 followers. Yeah, it did. It took me 10 years. And it's been a journey. I've learned a ton along the way. I've met so many cool people over Instagram. I have people that I would consider, if I went to where they lived, I'd want to hook up and have a cup of coffee with them because they're just so cool. And the artist community is so supportive. I would rather take the long way around and absorb the adventure and the scenery and get little tastes of life along the way than just take a rocket ship straight to the finish line. It's more interesting. There's more experience and learning involved. There's more people to meet, things to experience along the way. So if you're on this journey and if you get frustrated, if you get insecure, if you're sharing stuff and you feel like nobody's looking and you're like, why do I even bother? Am I even an artist? Listen, if you want to make art, you're an artist. You don't have to be selling art. You don't have to make money from your art in order to call yourself an artist. If you're motivated to make art and you're creative and you make things, I don't care what it is, you're an artist. That's it. That's your journey. And so in order to keep being an artist and putting out creative things, you need to share that with people. They need to know that, the first time you did something, the first time you drew that thing, it looked like crap. Because I guarantee you the first time they drew that thing, it looked like crap. And the more we share our journey, the more we share what we've learned and what mistakes we've made and how we got around those mistakes, the more we welcome other people into this world and say, you can make things, you can draw, you can paint. You don't have to paint the Mona Lisa in order to call yourself a painter. You can just paint pretty colors. Take it down a notch. Just do what makes you happy. Make art that is fun, that you enjoy. If it's frustrating and you're pulling out your hair the whole time you're making something, or you have to go finish something and you keep finding other things to do so that you don't have to go finish that project, then that project is not for you. But you have that drive to make, you have that drive to create things. Just keep fussing around with things until you find the thing that you love and the thing that makes you so happy. And then when other people see you making things that make you happy and loving life and doing your thing, then they'll go, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's really cool what she did or he did, or how did he do that? They want to know. And the more you share, the more you spread that. And I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this rant, but just keep going, keep plugging away. Don't worry about having 100,000 followers or 50,000 followers or 20,000 followers. If you've got 10 followers, those are your people. Make things for them. Make things for those people. Those are the people who want to see what you're doing, and don't worry about the rest of them. That's your audience. And then they'll click that little heart button and they'll cheer you on and they'll say, that was a great thing you did. So just keep going. Just keep going. If it takes you 10 years to get 1,000 followers, I will be there standing up and applauding and cheering you on. All right. Have a good one, you guys.